For someone who does feel really uncomfortable with conflict, what's one pivot they can take the next time to be able to actually harvest the opportunity a little more?
Thank you for that question. I need to say to everyone listening that I was not this way growing up. I was not taught, and that's where I go to with most people. We're not taught about the opportunity, right, of conflict. We don't have good models in it, right? I ask the question all the time of everyone that I work with, what was modeled for you around conflict? And it is rare. I think I can count on one hand in 40 years, someone who shared, I grew up with great models around conflict. My parents were great. They sat down, they talked to each other, they talked to us, and we were really able to get through it. No, that's not most people's story. So understand right there that we haven't seen it in however we grew up and whoever we grew up with. So that's the first place, is to look at what is it that you learned from the people who modeled conflict for you, and what is it that you have retained that actually is not working for you. Now, it may be difficult for you to say that this doesn't work for me, because if you're hiding all the time and avoiding it, that has made you think that that is working for you. But the reality is this bringing you closer to the person, is the question that you want to ask. And what might do that? And the answer is to try your best to engage in conversation, right, with this person, because most of the time we're getting the same results when we have conflict, because we're doing the same thing. Both people, or at least one person's doing the same thing, and so it ends the same way all the time.
It's like a hamster wheel of conflict.
That's right. And you really want to be able to your goal is to get closer. So what's going to get me closer? Is it me being more vulnerable and sharing something that might open them up? Is it me giving the invitation to listen to whatever they might want to share without interrupting them and without judging it, but simply trying to really understand it and where it comes from for them, and then be able to have a conversation? I don't know which one is the best for you, but pick one of those and really go in with the intention. And then understand that if there's a lot of history of really badly done conflict and bad feelings as a result, that it takes time to work through that. So the first time that you become vulnerable, yeah, it's tough. And yeah, you might get your feelings hurt and then feel like withdrawing again, because here it is, I tried, I was vulnerable and you stepped on me. The truth is, you've got to be able to sit in whatever that is and try again. Maybe it's not that same time, that moment, but it is something that you're going to need to come back to if you're in a relationship, right? If you're in an intimate relationship, you got to get intimate. and there's a lot of different ways to do that. And one of those ways is through conversation when conflict happens.
Yeah. As you're speaking, I'm imagining someone who's going to try being vulnerable, staying present, and then they get maxed out before they've gotten to the other side, just raising their hand and saying, okay, I'm going to turn into a turtle now. Mm-hmm. Withdraw the head.
Yeah.
Only the shell in view.
And know that I get it. I understand it, but it doesn't get us to know the person better, or to know ourselves better, or to get through this piece better, or this conflict better. Withdrawing just doesn't do that. And so what is it that you ultimately want? That's the question you've got to ask yourself. What do you really want? So if this were to go as good as you wanted it to go, right? What is it that you really want? Well, withdrawing, is that going to get you there? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it's not going to get you there. So you got to go for what it is you really want and be able to help the other person buy into that agreement as well. Why are we here? What are we doing this for? Right? It's really to be in relationship and better relationship with each other.